right, here we go. So how are you today, Byron?
Hey, I'm feeling pretty good. Just just chilling. Just got in, like I said. And,
Yeah, awesome.
what you up to?
Just painting the house. I'm actually borrowing this bedroom right now. I don't live here. This is like a staged bedroom. But anyway, um, so let's jump right in. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Just
Sure. Um, from Indianapolis, Indiana, 26. Professional drummer, and then I also run my own little online kind of buy, sell, and trade with drums too. And then I have a daughter. So
right. Awesome. I actually know I met you when you were playing with Mansa.
yeah,
And that was such a fun show. I don't think I've ever been more excited to get better at learning how to get people to dance. People were just losing it. You guys were so good.
right on, right
And now
on.
you guys, and now your full time project is Huckleberry Funk, correct?
Yeah. So for the most part, Huck Funk is my main focus. Mansa has, uh, and it's funny you say that because actually our last show I think that we did as a group was a show we did with you guys. Because you got to think that was right before my daughter was. I think she had just been born. She's about a month or two old. So
Right.
like I was kind of swinging into that, and then I was already bouncing. Everybody in the group is doing their own side projects and stuff too. Mansa was just kind of like a fun collective, just let's see how far we can go. And Zoe ended up moving to Chicago, the keyboard player,
Yes.
and Curtis and Connor and Steven, they still kind of do their thing for Steven's group, but they also do freelance gigs as well. So it was just kind of like the timing with the new baby for me, and it was just like I couldn't have my foot in every door I wanted to. So
That's all right. I do remember hearing about that was probably going to be Mansa's last show, and it was definitely a treat for me.
right on.
So how long have you been drumming?
I don't even remember starting. I've been told like three.
Yeah.
I told three. I used to want to get on my pop's lap and try to. He plays, so I used to try to be like him, and uh, that's kind of what I've been told. That's what the rumor is.
That's awesome. Well, so he's a drummer. How long has he been drumming? So did your grandfather also drum, or is it like a family? Is it a family thing, or?
So my dad's side of the family is where all the musicians are. I know like two or three of my cousins, like first cousins, that are like full time or did music full time. And then I don't think his dad played, but I think my dad's been playing for at least. I remember he told me when he bought the drum set we used to have, and he said that was in the late '70s. So I mean, he played for a while, but I don't think he was as serious about it as I am.
Right. And I remember talking to you back at what was it, State Street Pub.
Mm-hmm.
I remember asking you because you were telling me about your daughter and I asked you how you make that work, and I remember you said something that was so profound. You said, um, "This is what I do. Like this is what I do. This is my thing." So I was like, "That
Yeah,
makes
this
sense."
it's been a journey this first year, but you know, life's all about adjustments. So,
Yeah.
but
Well, how do you feel have becoming a father? How do you feel like that's has that changed you? How has it affected you?
yeah, definitely. I would say it's made me a lot more grounded, a lot more conscious of like it makes me think a little more long term about certain decisions and certain actions. I would say. Um, what else? Definitely, you can probably attest. It's gonna test your patience. You know what I mean? It's like, man,
Yes.
they they do a lot. Little kids, they do a lot. So I would say that, and then just kind of prioritizing what's important. Like is um, is it worth being gone for certain amounts of time doing certain things, whether that be touring or practicing or you know what I mean, just all type of rehearsing so much a week or so many times a week.
Right. I bet it's probably it definitely probably makes your practice time even more efficient, I'm assuming, like, because like, this is it right here, we're doing it, and then you're gonna, so I bet that's awesome.
Yeah,
That was one of my questions is what does your practice schedule look like? How do you, what do you, just all the time, every day, no matter what?
I wish you asked me what it used to look like because it used to be very consistent um, before I moved back to Indy when I was still in college. But now with the baby girl and just all this different stuff going on, it's I try to touch the drums every day. So let's say I have a rehearsal, then I probably won't practice on my own that day. Or if I have a gig, I might warm up a little bit at home, but I'm not gonna just full out practice. If I don't have a practice or a show, then I'll practice at home and maybe I mean, I don't practice more than some days it's 30 minutes, some days it's 40, some days it's an hour. Um, I need to get more consistent, but like with baby girls, with kids, it makes it so much harder to, you know what I mean? It's so much harder to just be like, I'm gonna do this, and that. So
Right.
it's
Well,
just all over the place.
I mean, you are a fantastic drummer. In fact, I think you're one of my favorite drummers I've ever watched live,
Appreciate that.
truthfully. So
Appreciate
I understand how, like, just basically you to take the time just to keep it fresh, just to keep I guess I'm assuming, I'm not a drummer, but I'm assuming just to keep the muscle memory nice and intact. I mean, I'm assuming that's kind of what.
Yeah, I mean, just wanna, and that's my thing is like, hey, if I can just touch drums every day, I'll be okay. Because there's certain left hand is usually most people's weekend when it comes to drums. So if I can get to a point each day where it's like, okay, I'm feeling good on my left hand, then I know, hey, if I get called for a gig tonight, I'll be straight. So that's kind of my little thing I tell myself. Like, hey, did I get some touches in? Did I get a touch in today? Whether that even be just 20, 30 minutes of just, going ham for a little bit. That to me is better than nothing. There's some days where I don't even like I sit down and I'm just like not feeling inspired, not feeling like playing anything. So, part of
Yeah.
being a musician.
Yeah. Yes, I
Yeah.
absolutely understand. I feel like musicians, we definitely we're putting a lot of good back into the world, with what we do. I think it's a really, I don't want to say magical profession, but it kind of is. It really
No,
influences people's moods. So
I
if we're
really
not,
think. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if we're not inspired, like, we have to find it, be forcing it may not be the best thing. So
Yeah, and I feel like with all this stuff going on, I don't know about you, but all my gigs have been canceled pretty much for the last. Yeah, so that
um,
sucks, but I think it'll usher in a better appreciation for live music when it comes back. And I think, like you said, the healing powers of music, um, which, like you said, it kind of sounds silly, magical, whatever. But I think people will appreciate what we do a lot more. Hopefully, if the country ever opens back up.
right, if I don't know. I know what you mean, though. I was kind of thinking the same thing. I feel like it's going to just be so needed. I feel like people are going to really need that connection, that live connection again. Because
Yes,
I felt like it was kind of fizzling out, and I didn't know if it was the area that we were in. Because I mean, we're Southern, but anyway,
Southern Illinois, right?
yeah, Southern Illinois. So
Yeah,
it's a ruined wasteland. I mean, I love it, but it is kind of just fields for days. But
that's
anyway,
the Midwest for you.
I know. I was going to ask you, because you're from Indianapolis. Are there any other cities in the United States that you just think to yourself, I want to play there because the music scene is just everything you look for?
Yeah. Um, let's see. LA.
Yeah.
Definitely LA. I want to get to Dallas and Houston some point. Miami, Vegas, Seattle, West Coast. Um, Where else? Middle
Not,
America is cool. Go ahead.
I was gonna say nothing up east, nothing nothing New York or
I've Here's the thing. So it's funny you say that because in the middle of this pandemic, we had actually Huck Funk actually had booked like our first like pretty legit, not a big deal tour, but like for us it was a big deal. But we hit I think Boston, New York City, Philly, and
ugh,
then we had Cincy, Columbus, Chicago, and then a show at the Vogue here in Indy to wrap it all up. And it's just like we had to cut it off like 3 shows in, so that was just so crushing. But um, all those cities, I definitely want to get back in there. This is my thing. I want to play as many venues as I can in as many cities. That's the simple answer.
yeah, absolutely.
That's the simple answer. Especially the big cities like New York, um, Philly. I love Philly. All the East Coast, wherever I can get in.
Have you ever thought anything about Canada, like
Oh,
Toronto,
yeah,
Quebec?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anywhere in the world, anywhere that it would work out that we could play and some magically make a living and can't have all three, right? But you know,
I bet you could. I mean, you're fantastic, and I've listened to Huckleberry Funk, and you all are fantastic. I don't know.
yeah,
I think you guys have tremendous potential to not just travel everywhere, but also make a like a very good income. I don't know exactly how people become like super rich. I don't understand that because apparently even like famous musicians are not always super rich. But
right.
but
What Here's the thing: is just like for us, I would rather be. It's not even about being rich, but it's just like being comfortable. It's like, hey, I don't have to worry about this, and that. I know we're gonna make enough. I'm sure you can attest. There's good months and there's slower months, and you know.
yeah, we were going down to Florida to work with some people, and they were like, book during spring break. Well, we didn't realize that everybody else also booked during spring break, so we we had, oh man, yeah, that all got canceled too. But
Man,
um, yeah, but like just different times of the year are better for different areas. I'm,
right,
I'm
right.
I'm still looking to see what's good on the West Coast too. It seems like a pretty thriving music scene, but
Yeah, I would love to get out west.
same. I think California would be wonderful. I bet like you could even do like outdoor gigs. It would probably be awesome. I don't know, but things like that. So I also want to kind of touch on, you mentioned that your father he's the one who introduced you to drumming.
Mhm.
But who is your greatest role model? Who is the person that really just said like, you know, that isn't family that was like you can do this, like you're gonna make it, you can do this.
You threw me a curveball because you said no family, so I would say my dad.
Oh,
Uh,
that's
Man, outside of that, that's a hard one. I mean, it's hard to think of somebody who's been more present than my father. Honestly, it's. I mean, him and moms have supported me through a lot of gigs, and I mean, they've let me practice at home. Man, I used to come home after school every day and just beat on drums for 2 or 3 hours. Um, it's hard to. I mean, let me
that, you know what, that's okay, that's all right, I
any
totally.
any famous drummer, like any big time drummer, I would watch videos. I mean, I look up to those guys. So, but it's as far as honesty, like real role model, it have to be my
That's awesome.
dad. It have to. So,
It's nice that you have such a great support system because a lot of people I feel just uh, you know I hear a lot of the time, especially with drummers, they're always like, oh, my parents wouldn't let me have like I had to like sneak out and like go, borrow drum kits from other people. So
right.
that's really beautiful that your parents cared that, they cared about you and allowed you to express yourself that way.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, I'm grateful for sure. So,
awesome. I feel like well, oh, okay, here's something. I mean, and I think I might know the answer to this because we've kind of talked about a couple things so far, but what's the first thing you do in the morning? You wake up, what's the first thing that you're like, you become aware that you're awake? What do you do?
uh, man, take a piss, wash my hands, brush my teeth. If my daughter's here, And she's waking up as we speak. If That's funny I said that. She usually will cry at 5 or 6 in the morning and hop into bed with daddy, and then change her diaper, get her a bottle, and then do what I just said: take a piss, wash my hands, brush my teeth.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you know what? If she's waking up, then
Give me a second. Give me a second. I'll get her.
yeah.
She,
Oh yeah.
okay. We've got Sweetie Pie here.
Oh
This
hi. Good
this is Emily
morning.
P.
Hi, honey. How are you doing? Did you have a good nap?
She said, I was only asleep for 30 minutes.
Just a power nap. I understand those.
All right. It's
Yeah.
time to get back to work with her, huh?
Yeah. Got lots of things to do today, probably. Hi. Well,
Yeah,
so I got one question for the both of you.
sure.
If you're gonna drink tea, do you take sugar?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. I can't do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. And what's funny, I don't really drink a lot of tea. I'm
No.
not really like a tea, coffee type of guy. I'm
Oh,
more water, orange juice, Gatorade, which is
gotcha.
crazy, but that's just honest.
No, no, that's good. No stimulants. Honestly, a lot of people can't function without them. So that's actually really good to know. You just pretty much just hydrate as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So every once in a while, I could do like an iced tea or a hot tea, but it just has never been the. I don't know. Shut up.
So you probably are drinking milk. I bet you like
Yep.
milk a lot. Yeah. Let's see. How old are you? You must be. I bet you're. Oh, are you one yet?
Kinley, how old are you gonna be on your birthday? Can you show me? Can you show me? You be How old are you gonna be on your birthday? One. One. Yay! Yay!
Wait,
Yes, she'll be one on the 18th. So,
oh, this month
yep. Yep.
of June. Oh, good. Gemini baby.
Yeah. Oh, she definitely is. She's very. She could be a firecracker some days. So.
I understand. I was born on the 21st of May, so I'm also a Gemini. They called me a pistol. I don't
Uh
know.
oh.
Yeah, I don't remember too well, but oh, goodness gracious, that's so awesome. First birthday.
Yep. That's right. So yeah, just she's very busy. I tried to get her on drums a little bit. It seemed like she knew how to pick up the sticks and like go for different drums and cymbals. So I'm like, yeah, it's in the blood.
Yeah, good. That'll be wonderful. Are you
So
going to be a drummer one day?
yeah, so yeah,
You can be just like daddy, right?
either that or keyboard. I'm gonna get her a little keyboard. So
Perfect.
we'll see. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get her.
I bet she'll love it.
Yeah.
Keyboard, they're so fun to start with, just messing with keys and whatnot, hearing all the different sounds. It's awesome.
Right. 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 Definitely. So yeah, it's just okay. Hold on. You're clicking stuff now. Okay. Here.
Oh,
Say uh-oh. Uh-oh.
oh, oh.
Uh-oh. She's very smart. Very smart, baby. So,
Goodness, for what, almost a year? I mean, that's wonderful.
mm.
Is she walking yet?
Oh yeah, she's been walking since she was 9 months.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good. That
Some
means
days.
you're
Some
ahead
days.
of the curve. Yeah. Yeah, right. I bet you have to lock all the cabinets and
Oh my goodness. She's into everything she can get her hands into. So Actually, she's not supposed to have this, what she has now, but I know it'll keep her chilled out for a little bit. So,
Always wanting the things you can't have, right? Like,
right.
oh, okay, well. Well, all right. Well, why don't you guys go have a beautiful day? And I'm so excited that you were able to join me today. And I'm so happy I got to meet you. And I hope,
Absolutely. Thanks so much for even taking the time to reach out and have me have me on the podcast. And I'm looking forward to checking it out and seeing what you do.
awesome. I can't wait. And I'll tag all kinds of good stuff just and I'll be in touch with you. I'll probably have it up tomorrow,
For
truthfully.
sure, for sure. Next time you're in Indy, let me know and we can have a drink or something or hang and kick it and catch up.
Absolutely. I also actually I want to tell you before I get off here. There's a guy in Lafayette. I know Lafayette's closer to Indianapolis than we are. His
Yeah.
name's Jason Wells, and he's been throwing some gigs. I don't know if you've met him yet, but
Okay.
I don't know when and where you guys are going to start playing again. But maybe I'll send you his information if you guys want to maybe break into or go do some stuff in Lafayette too.
For sure.
Just a
For
thing,
sure.
maybe, you know.
Absolutely. It's nothing wrong with it, at least trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you two have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to y'all later, okay?
Hey, thank you so much, Kate.
Thank you. Happy birthday, sweetheart.
All right, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, you have a good one. Be safe and happy Tuesday. We'll see if we get through this week. There
We'll make it. It'll be okay.
you go. All right. I'll talk to you later.
See you later.
All right.
Bye.